Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Hi there and welcome to the show. I am so glad you're here. Something big has happened since the last episode, and at this very moment, I'm recording this podcast from my daughter and son-in-law's home, and I'm brimming with excitement and happiness. Just a few short days ago, my grandson arrived into this world. Now, my husband Robert and I, we live 12 hours away from the kids. We were preparing for our travels to be with them in time for the birth, and we thought we had some more time. We thought that arriving at least 10 or so days prior to the due date, that would be just fine and plenty of time. But I had this feeling that little guy would be a tad early. No justification, just a feeling. But to all of our surprise, he came about 20 days early. That morning, when my daughter was checking in with me, she said she was feeling a bit strange. I couldn't think straight for the rest of the day. I kept telling Robert that I felt overly anxious. I worked through my anxiousness, trying to keep busy. By about 5 o'clock that evening, I was done working on the computer because my mind was racing. So Robert and I decided to do some stuff outside. Then it happened. At about 6 o'clock that evening, my phone rang. I looked at the screen and my heart leapt. It was my son-in-law. I answered, and in a calm, collected voice on the other end, I hear, "Her water just broke. We are on our way to the hospital." The conversation was short, but after all, the kids were on a mission to deliver that baby. Immediately after the call, I looked at Robert straight in the eyes and said, "I want to go." He didn't miss a beat. He said, "Let's do it. No him-hawing around. No talking me down from the ledge." He said, "Let's go." We were already partly prepared to leave, as our planned day of departure was going to be just a week away. We were even preparing on a weekend trip to Iowa, where Robert had a gig to play at an outdoor event. As we were gathering our stuff together and pushed up our travel arrangements by a week's time, we were on the road within the hour. Our goal? Drive the 12-hour journey all night and arrive to their house first thing in the morning. Even though I knew that seeing her in the hospital was out of the question, and that didn't concern me one bit. The new hospital rules really limit visitors. That's okay. My daughter had expressed to me that she would like me close by when they returned home from the hospital. And that's exactly what would happen. A few hours into our 12-hour drive, our little grandson came into this world. What a wonderful sight to see that beautiful image pop up as the text message arrived. In the middle of the night, my daughter felt like talking, so she called us. She was relieved and appreciative that we were on our way. Things turned out perfectly. All are healthy and doing well. My daughter was feeling bad that Robert was going to be missing his gig in Iowa, but he wasn't. Our plans shifted. He was simply going to travel to the gig from her house. I wouldn't go to his gig and stay behind and do what I could to help out around the house. Like I said, things turned out perfectly. And it's times like these that I really appreciate the hard work in starting a business that I love, working with clients that I adore, and creating a lifestyle where I have the freedom to enjoy life on my own terms. It's times like these that I truly appreciate the lifestyle that I'm building. Sure, Working from anywhere and going on nomadic adventures is fun and challenging, but having the freedom to do and earn a living is the goal. But it's times like this where my true reason why it's so important to work for myself and being an entrepreneur is super evident. It's times like these when I can be there for my family. For most entrepreneurs, when asked why they want to be in business for themselves, the word freedom is usually at the top of the list. Is it for you? But being an entrepreneur, as you well know, is hard work, and at times it doesn't feel like you have much freedom. At times you may feel drained out of time, energy, and money, and overwhelmed with the whole process. At first, being a business owner doesn't feel like there's much freedom at all. It seems like you're working 24/7 with little to show for it. Especially if you're used to working for someone else, your mindset is in a place of trading dollars for time. And when you're in that mindset and you calculate how much work you're doing with how many hours you're working compared to what income is coming in, man, that can be disheartening. That's why little by little you create systems. Systems that for the short term may be hard and time consuming to implement, but over time, the collection of these little systems evolves into bigger systems and then even bigger systems. Soon, things start to get easier. Soon, freedom peeks through. If I were still working at that corporate job, being able to drop everything and just leave wouldn't have been nearly as easy, or quite frankly, it might have not been possible. I'd have to wait until my allotted time requested off, and I'd have to return when my approved time off was over. Oh my goodness. I've just grown to feel like I just don't like the idea of asking permission to be off when my daughter needs me. Being there when my family needs me the most is my primary driver in creating a lifestyle of freedom. My second driver is experiencing life through travel and not waiting to do it when I retire. There's so much life to live before retirement. There's too much I want to see and explore. I don't see any reason why to wait. Now, what's your why? What's your primary driver that keeps you in business, knowing that it's hard at times? Sometimes when you're in the weeds of doing all you need to do in keeping your business going, you're pushing yourself to create that course. You're trying to start that podcast, redesign your website. You're pushing yourself, just pushing yourself to create those systems that in the short term is new and is hard and takes a lot of time and energy, but in the long run will attract your perfect client, create more business for yourself, which helps you achieve the freedom you want. Creating systems is a mixture of thinking about what you're doing right now combined with forward thinking about things how they should be in the future. And it all happens with one system at a time. Creating systems allows you to build your team in a good and systematic way. Sometimes you'll create your own systems. Sometimes you'll tap into someone else's systems by hiring a contractor to help you for things like website design, maybe marketing, or phone answering service or bookkeeping. Tapping into someone else's system and asking for guidance on how you should be doing things certainly helps speed up gaining the freedom that most of us want when we start thinking about having our own business. I can't tell you how it pleases me to help serve you in sharing what I know and my perspective to hopefully help you along your journey. I love helping my clients in creating their systems and helping them implement and keeping their systems going, because I know and I see it for myself that when I create my systems in my business and helping my clients create their systems, those systems chunk away at the chaos and create more and more freedom within the business. If you're feeling overwhelmed because you're pushing yourself, oh wait, who am I kidding? All of us as entrepreneurs are always pushing ourselves to do more and achieve more. Well, how about you take a break? Just take a breath and truly appreciate your reason why you're creating the lifestyle you want. What's your why? If you're on Instagram, I would love for you to look me up at G Scrivener and send me a direct message. I would love to hear your story of one or more of your moments that hit you, that reminded you of your reason why, that all of this hard work is worth it. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a fantastic week.